You've just found your way to CX in the Wild, Season 2, where Dennis Wakabayashi is again on safari around the world, capturing candid conversations with the leading executives in the customer experience and marketing industries. And now, let's step into this episode of CX in the Wild.
So here we are on another episode of CX in the Wild. I'm here with Jonathan. Jonathan, I don't know you. I was walking by your booth. I had done some work last year in the area of WhatsApp. WhatsApp, for some reason, people in the United States, they just have no idea the power or the penetration of WhatsApp in the rest of the world. And that's okay, because the US has some really great things too. However, I saw your booth here at CEM 2022. I recognized it as if I were in the US, it would be very out of place. So being here in Africa, I thought maybe it's a thing here, but it does seem out of context a little to me. That's why I grabbed you.
Yeah.
Can you tell my audience your name and your title, what you do, and then I just love to get to know you a little more.
Thanks, Dennis. My name's Jonathan Williams. I'm the CEO and founder for Chat Inc. We basically specialize in social messaging. We started off in Cape Town, South Africa, and we're spreading our wings globally into LATAM, into Southeast Asia, and all of those places. And we're basically using the power of social messaging, like WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, all of Google Business Chat in some cases as well, as a new interface to engage, for businesses to engage with customers, or customers to engage with brands, but also just as a general user interface or UI for all kinds of interesting applications.
Now, people have been using chat windows for a long time. What made you start a business in using the chat windows?
That's a funny question, actually, Dennis. Before this, I was always in tech, but I did a master's degree in digital innovation, and my focus was specifically around this kind of topic. And from my findings in terms of my master's thesis, I realized there's a business here. And I then did a career change. Obviously, the wife was super happy because it was quite a big change. And then, here we are 6 years later. And I think we've done well for ourselves in this space.
Well, you're at the biggest CX event in Africa. You must be doing quite well to be investing in this community. So, Jonathan, I guess, can you explain to me, I probably could explain it just fine, but I think you will have a better articulation of why these chat windows are so important to customer experiences today.
Dennis, I think the world has changed in the sense that the way we communicate is different. Now, luckily, I've been around since the 90s, so I've been in tech since the 90s. I've seen technology being born, email and SMS and all of those kinds of things. I think conversational interfaces such as messaging just allow us to communicate much more effectively than traditional voice, than just pure text messaging. And I'm not saying it's a replacement, but I'm saying it's an augmentation of those existing channels. And when you look at it, I see people all the time just sending voice notes across at the speed of almost a phone call, and you would ask yourself, but why don't they just pick up the phone and call? Because the way people communicate has changed. With a conversational interface, I can use video, I can use image, I can use emojis, I can use text, I can use voice. I cannot do that over previously the traditional channels.
And can I just jump in there? Yeah. I struggle with this whole topic because I'm going to be 52 years old this year. I have 3 children.
You look great for 52.
Thank you. And because I think one of the reasons maybe I look young is they keep me young. You know, they keep me relevant. They force me to adopt these technologies. And then once I do, it almost changes my whole perspective on business. And this is a perfect point. I use WhatsApp continuously, 24 hours a day. You said something that I never really thought of until you said it, which is I like it because I can send a link, a text, a video, a voice. Like I'm texting, but if it gets too long and I don't want to have a conversation, I want to just get the information versus voice.
Absolutely.
So this multi-dimensional window of WhatsApp and some of the others you mentioned, I think that's really an interesting perspective. But my real point is most business men and women that I engage with, they're too old to understand the power of WhatsApp. And I think that shows in these major corporations who are not adopting a chat aspect to their customer experiences. Personal opinion, disclaimer, that's just what I think. But tell me about your advancements in this industry to enable corporations to use this multidimensional tool for CX.
Yeah, we started off with live chat because chat is still such a new thing when it comes to WhatsApp and those things. People, when I started off this business, people were still saying, I'm only WhatsApping with my mom and my dad, so why would I use it for business? But the industry has come a long way. In now, businesses are using it constantly. Why? Because it's a richer form of engagement. To give you an example, we all got vehicles. You take your vehicle in for a service, or you contact them. You say there's this noise on the vehicle. Now, when I have a voice call, I have to explain exceptionally well and with exceptional clarity what the issue is to get the diagnosis right. Yeah, I can just record an audio note of the sound my vehicle's making. I can take a picture of the oil light on my dashboard, and instantly the service agent knows exactly what I'm talking about.
That just happened to me. I took my vehicle in, and it had some leaking, and I took a picture of it, and I showed it was under the car. I showed them, and they're like, yeah, that's your axle leaking grease, your axle bearing. So you're exactly right. Great use case, by the way. My other point I wanted to make is I don't even use email very much anymore. I remember going into the pandemic, I was an email guy. And now I bet you I send less. I sent 90% of my email has been reduced because I just work with all my team through chat, and they like it because they know if I'm there, I can respond right away, and we can, to your point, I guess, if it's important, we can escalate it to an image or to a phone call. We don't have to go back and forth on email, 16 different threads.
Absolutely. All right. It's conversational. It's a more natural experience. When you look at email, was traditional mail with an e tagged onto it. What does that mean? It's still got the formality of a mail, right? Dear Dennis, it's still that very business type speak. And when you leave it out in an email, people think you're being unprofessional. But when you're sending a text, like in WhatsApp, it's totally acceptable to not use that kind of formality. So I would say messaging and chat is more relevant for the current age in which we operate.
It is, and so many times we used to make fun of people who used email where they might send the thanks to the thanks to the thanks or all these things. Whereas I love chat because my team can just hit me with a WhatsApp and say, are you up and are you working? And I can say no. And they're like, okay. Or I can say, what's up? Let's tackle the business challenge at hand. So I love it as a vehicle there. So I think we've established for the audience, WhatsApp might be something to think about and these chat experiences for the reasons we mentioned. I'm curious about you as a person. I've never met you before. What should I know about you?
Well, I'm a family guy, but my wife runs her own company as well. So we're both entrepreneurs and business owners, which is interesting at times. I've got a real passion for technology and innovation. I think I'm a bit of an ideas guy. I like to connect the dots between things. I've got an insatiable curiosity for learning new things. So I'm always learning and unlearning things to stay relevant.
Fair point.
But not just to stay relevant. I just like it. So I think I like running a company, and I like the opportunities that it brings to be my own boss and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
How many people are in your company?
We're about 20 people now. So
okay.
we're small and potent. I think Instagram sold to Facebook when there were only 13 people originally. So yeah, I think we're doing amazing things, and even with our current size, we're starting to scale globally. It's software, so
Now, I don't want to leak anything about your business that shouldn't be leaked, but I did overhear a conversation that you have some pretty big things going on with some pretty big companies that sort of point to the relevancy or the potency of this business solution. Can you talk about those? Because this is CX in the wild, anytime you don't want to say anything, just say, let's talk about that later.
Yeah, perfect. I think having been experts in this field, and I don't say that lightly, I think we understand this market really well. We've seen it emerge from 5-6 years ago to a full-fledged new industry at the moment, and we're basically doubling down in some of the niche categories where we see there's real opportunity. It's getting a bit crowded in terms of all the competitors coming into the landscape, but competition is good, and it's helping us to innovate on behalf of our clients. And we're seeing definitely from a service industry, certain niches where only chat can solve big problems and reduce spend on inefficiencies and those kinds of things. And then as well, our new marketing platform called Swish at swish.com. I think it's going to be a real game changer in the marketing space next to SMS and email.
What is that, Swish?
Swish is our new broadcast messaging platform for WhatsApp, but it would also be for SMS. When we operate in Thailand, it would be for Line. We're really messenger agnostic, right? So it's there so that you can quickly load your contacts, get hyper personalized with whatever you want to send, whether it's marketing messages, operational messages to your staff or whatever, and get it in and track the complete results in terms of how many people have opened your message, how many people are doing the click-throughs, have responded to buttons, and then take them over into a more commercial journey.
And that's the perfect platform to convert.
Yep, absolutely.
So I did mention, though, maybe you passed on that on purpose. You're doing some big things. Can you talk about the big things you're doing?
Yeah, I think from our global expansion, for a small self-funded company, I think we're doing amazing things in Singapore, in Latin America, and we've got some alliances with some big companies as well, which is certainly helping us to expand globally. And for us, we've got big global ambitions, and I think our products are going to fit really neatly into some of the spaces that we're going into.
Are you in a position to mention some of your big partnerships?
Yeah, so we've got Zendesk, which is one of our key partnerships.
I love them.
Yeah, so we work really well with the guys in the US and in Canada, and then we're busy with some other partnerships as well from a distribution network to get our product into various kind of industries.
So you're in the South African market. Where's your primary, secondary markets? Just because what I'd like to know is if a listener is listening and they're in your secondary market, this is a ripe opportunity. What's your primary and secondary market?
So primary up till now has been South Africa and the southern region of Africa. So, but we operate throughout Africa. Our clients use our services from Nigeria to Angola to Uganda, Zambia, and Kenya. But our secondary markets are starting to be Latin America, Brazil, Mexico, Peru, Colombia.
I was just going to say, I need to connect you with my people in Brazil because Brazil is like the perfect market for this.
Absolutely. I definitely agree, Dennis. And it's certainly one of our key focuses. We're actually learning Spanish now.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And you need Portuguese.
Yeah, Portuguese for Brazil. Yeah.
So is there anything else we should know about your company? What should my audience know? First of all, where can they find you?
Yeah,
online.
So they can find us. Our primary business is on chatinc.com, where you'll find chatinc.com. And one of our product websites is getswish.com. That's get, SWEESH.com. And that's our marketing platform.
How much does this cost?
It's a simple model. It works. If you've used email marketing kind of software, it works like MailChimp and the others. It works very similarly. Depending on how many people you want to reach, you put in the number, you pay a platform fee, and it's a monthly subscription fee that you pay, but you'll definitely get the value out of it.
Do people get pissed when they get these messages from a broadcast text chat service?
And that's a good question, Dennis. I think you've got to be really careful and respect the channel on which you operate. So the good thing that Meta did, right, is that they built in self-regulation within the WhatsApp channel that you cannot just send spam, right? And me and you, we've got the power on our phone to say block.
I was just going to say that. That's one more reason why I like it, because my chat windows are clean, because anything I don't recognize, I just block.
Yeah.
Done. And over time, it's like building your own firewall against a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
My email box, I mean, I must leave 100 to 200 emails unread in there I'm like hunting through to find the ones that matter. And anybody who actually matters sends me a text.
Absolutely. And I think that's just, it's the same way I operate. There's so much email in the barrage of things that I've signed up for over time that just to get to my business messages.
And the unsubscribes never work.
Yeah. And in fact, they just know then there's somebody there.
Yeah, exactly. And do you have before I let you go, I'm just curious, I'm curious, I guess, to know a little bit more about your leadership. Do you want to celebrate any of the people in your business? Because certainly maybe your wife has been your rock, but there's, in this entrepreneurial, innovative, sort of higher risk space, it's more than just you, Jonathan.
Absolutely, Dennis. You know, the founders can't do it without a very strong team. And certainly, I mean, our team is really magic. From our engineering team, who keeps pushing out these products, our product team keeping innovating, our delivery team making sure that every feature pushes out on time, and then definitely from our customer success and management team that really help us to make sure that we take our responsibility serious to our customers. If you pay us for a service, we want to make sure you're getting the value that we promised you out of that product. And our customer success function is strongly focused around getting you the value that you're supposed to get out of using our services and platforms.
Nice. Now, did you raise money? Are you going into a Series A or?
No, not at all. We've fully self-funded up to date. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Jonathan, thank you for being CX in the Wild. It's always fun to grab new people. I'm going to be watching you and see how this evolves. I do think that outside of the U.S., a lot of people will get what you're saying. I think in the U.S. it'll be a while before people move off of email.
Yeah.
But congratulations, and I wish you the best.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of CX in the Wild. If you've enjoyed the show today, please share it with someone else who appreciates this kind of original content. And be sure to visit DennisWakabayashi.com to catch up with Dennis or find out where we're going to be on our next CX in the Wild adventure.